Varnum ready to jump it up against Jayla Jordan. And we're off and rolling from Bud Walton. This is an Auburn team, Blair. They do struggle at times to score the basketball.
They do, and Arkansas has to do a good job just maintaining the pressure and staying in front of the basketball.
First shot won't drop.
Yeah, Sasha Goforth has a tough assignment tonight.
Annie Hughes well off the mark, but another floor rebound to Scott Grayson.
It is. This is the area where Arkansas really has to box out tonight because of Auburn's shooting percentage. They have to, weak side has got to be ready when the ball is shot.
Honesty, Scott Grayson has not scored as much this year as last, but she gets the first basket. It's a three-pointer.
She's that deadly player. She can do a lot of things for the team, for Auburn, who doesn't necessarily show up on the scoreboard or in the stats. She's a player to watch tonight.
See the five starters for Arkansas. Again, they lose 33.5 points with no Spencer, Daniels, or Wolfenbarger. There's Goforth on the drive, and she'll score.
It'll be interesting to see Arkansas's mentality on the offensive end. Will they be more patient than they have been before?
One thing is for sure, they cannot afford too many players in foul trouble.
No, they can't. They've got to rebound tonight. It's very imperative.
Of course, Auburn says, hey, we've been dealing with this depth issue all year. And that ball's out of bounds to Auburn. If you were down at the YMCA and you were playing, Arkansas might look over and say, hey, give us a couple of players to balance things out. But they're both short-handed.
They are, and unfortunately, with the COVID and the last year and this year, I don't think it's a shock for teams this year as much as it was last year.
A little more used to it.
Yeah, they're more prepared.
Amber Ramirez has already been playing about 39 minutes in conference games. Is there a whistle? Not a charge. It's a walk on Varnum.
Yeah, and, Ramirez has got to know her player right there. With Varnum coming back, she's getting the flow of the game. She doesn't need to give it too far away from the basket right there, and that'll come as the flow of the game evolves. Riley Langerman, she's guarding Honesty, Scott Grayson, and Coach mentioned about how she'll do whatever it takes for them to win.
Going to get a lot of minutes tonight. That's Sanaya Wells with the knockdown.
That's a great pass by Ramirez to see Barnum down the floor. That's what they have to do, get easy buckets, let everybody settle in, and just get more confident with this group of five on the floor.
Well, that's way off the mark from Kulabali. Alana Eaton in rhythm. Can't hit the three, and there's Kulabali to track down the rebound. This is where she's gotten better. In space, running the floor. She's able to find her teammate Jordan for the left-handed lay-in.
Yeah, that looks very good. She is a versatile player. Like Coach Harris said, she's a nightmare for the opponents. And Arkansas can't get in a rush. They have to make the easy passes, especially early on, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Honesty made them pay for lackadaisical pass.
And that's what Arkansas has been dealing with in the last game and a half without Michaela Daniels. They turn the ball over a lot at A&M for a team that only averages about 10 a game. Now they don't even have Spencer as their backup point guard.
They don't. So it'll be interesting to see who emerges as a vocal player, because Michaela Daniels does that on the court, whether they're taking it out or whatever. So Ramirez has to do that for this young club tonight.
Precious Johnson checking in, replacing Jayla Jordan.
They don't get smaller when she comes in. She's a very athletic post player who will be physical inside.
Barnum had her shot blocked immediately by Jordan and can't coax in the putback.
And I think that's why Coach Harris pressures in right there, because she is a very good defensive player for them.
Scott Grayson, the Baylor transfer, she's off to a tremendous beginning. That's 7 quick points. Remember, in their win against Tennessee, she only had 2, but she did a lot of other things. Yes,
the Coach Harris mentioned that, how she drew the assignment and guarded their best player, and that's what she does night in and night out. So don't underestimate her, because she has the capability to take over a game.
Ramirez threw that off the back iron. It just dropped dead down through the twine.
Sometimes you need those shots to fall for you. Good for her.
Kulabali defended by Goforth. There's the drive. That shot was altered. But another offensive rebound.
Yes, they have to rebound. They have to box out tonight. Auburn is a very physical player. You can just see them. They crash the board, and they're aggressive.
That's 9 points now for Honesty Scott Grayson.
She came in tonight ready to play and make a point.
She sure did. There's Barnum. Nice cut to the basket. There was some contact from Koulibaly, but no make from Aaron Barnum.
The pick and roll seems to be giving Auburn some fits, and Ramirez is doing a good job of seeing the open cutter and the open person. So they need to stay with that and just take what Auburn's getting them. Auburn will make an adjustment, but they have not at this point.
It's Mike Neighbors, 5th year as the head coach. Gave his team 3 days off after that A&M game. It's a stretch where they were at Tennessee, had the injury to Daniels and a big lead that slipped away, and lost to Gary Blair in College Station. 2 very winnable games, and I would think as Barnum makes that free throw, Blair, if Daniels is healthy, Mike probably has 2 more wins this year.
Oh, absolutely, and without a doubt. But you know, she's out, and they played both games very well. They competed very hard. And they had the Tennessee game. They had a shot at the left corner to win it. So I understand getting on 3 days off. This is a long stretch. February is a tough month for college basketball.
Put back by Precious Johnson is good, and that's another area. Arkansas gave up 58 rebounds to Texas A&M last time out.
Yeah, and A&M and Auburn are very similar in their post play. They're very physical, they're aggressive, they hedge on the screen, and Arkansas's got to counter that.
That's a good point. Langerman lost that ball on the way up, but able to gather and score. So on her 21st birthday, she gets her first 2 points and also making the start tonight.
You know, players always play the best game on their birthdays. So I'm happy for Riley.
They should, right? There's cake involved.
That's right.
But an Auburn team 13th in the league in scoring has put down 15 points before the first media timeout, and that is an offensive foul on Wells. We're going to step out. These teams off and rolling tonight. Auburn Tigers up by 6. He was here from 2004 to 2007 with the Razorbacks and produced several great recruiting classes. And for 1 year, she worked with an upstart assistant by the name of Mike Neighbor.
Yes, how convenient is that? So they know each other very well, and there's a lot of mutual respect between the two. So it's fun to see them tonight on both head coaches and competing against one another.
Goforth trying to create. She'll draw some contact. I think that's on Koulibaly. Or was it given to Wells?
I think it might have been given to Wells, but I'm not sure. But that's what she has to do tonight, because Auburn's challenge in the post players is lateral movement, and Goforth has a very good first step. She's got to attack the rim, and once they sag off of her because she's penetration, then her outside game is going to open up.
She's had a big year scoring, but in the last 3 games total, she's had 16 points.
Yeah.
3 tonight, and quite honestly, as you look how you're going to get to a certain point plateau, you have to factor Sasha in for a big night.
You do, and she's due for it. She's very due for it, and she'll get it done. She's very patient. She's not a player that rushes her offensive game, so she is going to let the game come to her. Great steal, great defense by Emory Ellis.
Ellis in the game, but couldn't drop in that jump shot. There's a rebound for Scott Grayson.
And she's wide open. It's a good look. I don't think she was confident in her shot. She's like, oh, I'm open. But she just has to settle, take a deep breath, and knock that shot down because it's her shot.
Scott Grayson really trying to create. Wiggins with the runner. And it'll be Razorback basketball.
She is. They can't get tangled up and lose her. I know they're focusing on Scott Harris, but they cannot lose Wiggins because she has the capability to score as well. And she comes off of a game where she had 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. So she's got a complete package as a player.
It's an Auburn team again with 1 conference win. They've lost 13 straight SEC road games. Off to a good start, though, tonight.
Yeah, Marshawn Bostic, I mean, she put pressure out there on Ramirez, and that's what Coach Harris emphasizes. She wants pressure on the ball, and she got her hands, and it was a forced pass, a sloppy pass by Ramirez.
Precious Johnson just loses that one out of bounds.
Yeah.
Young lady who's coming back from a concussion issue that forced her to miss about 3 games. So trying to get her feet underneath her just a bit. And it's been a year of that for these two teams, as far as having players sit out for injuries or issues or even some of the protocols, and then you try and get them back up to speed at some point.
Right, and they lose that game shape. And they're in shape, but that game speed, and they're a little rusty at times, but it'll come back to her.
Wiggins just loses that out of bounds, an uncontested turnover.
Yeah. And those are things that Coach Harris was talking about. Her team has got to learn to do that differently. She just simply was trying to do more without the ball in her hand, just thinking too fast, and the ball left her hand. So she saw the wide open man and just did not hit him.
And we talk about Arkansas without their point guards, and Daniels or Spencer. Auburn really hasn't had a true point guard this year either, and it's made holding onto the ball tough.
It has, and Sanaya is playing their point for them, and she's really a two guard, and kudos to her for playing out of position. And I think several of the Auburn players are having to do that until Coach Harris gets her players there. Again, that pick and roll, they scored on it.
Sure did. Langerman to Ellis for the first two for Emory.
And somebody who hasn't played a lot of minutes like Emory Ellis, to get her an easy basket around the paint, that will get her confidence up.
That's an and one opportunity for Bostic, able to drive in, scoop it up off the window, and this is that previous pick and roll.
Yeah, she does a great job. She drew two people. They were confused on how to defend the ball, and Emory Ellis just right there and made an easy layup.
Bostic has a chance for a three-point play. In that win against Tennessee, their one conference win, she played 15 minutes. Her team was plus 25 when she was in the game.
I know. She's a remarkable player. So it'll be interesting to see what she does tonight, if she can bring that kind of philosophy and carry that over into tonight's game.
Felt like Arkansas was trying to climb back in before that three-point play. Ramirez, though, has had huge conference numbers since league play started. Barnum gathered that rebound. Never really seemed to have it clean. And there's Bostic with it.
And again, the penetration, the driving to the basket is hurting Auburn. They need to keep doing it. Those baskets for Aaron Barnum will fall. Nice defensive transition for Arkansas. They got on stop because Auburn's very quick to the basket.
That's a corner look at a three ball that's strong out of the hands of Annie Hughes.
And Aaron Barnum got a great weak side rebound there.
Barnum on the roll, able to catch it cleanly. Be too far under to take the shot. And Sage misses the corner three.
Well, Barnum can't get skittish. She needs to continue to look to score. She's a scorer. She's missed a couple, but who cares? Keep shooting. I know Coach Neighbors doesn't. He wants her to keep shooting. She's got to keep shooting. She's got to keep looking for her shot, gather herself, and just explode up.
And she's another one trying to find that game speed. Missed a lot of time earlier this year. And even against A&M, Blair, she played 14 minutes but had 8 points.
Yes, she had productive minutes, so she can do it. She just needs to make one to get just a relief.
There's an open look at a three, and Amber Ramirez does not miss many open triples.
No, she didn't. Barnum's had a great pick. Ramirez used it, came very tight off that screen, and she hit the open look.
Auburn is led by as many as 8 here in this first quarter.
They have, and we'll see. This is one thing that they've struggled with characteristically. They get a lead, and can they keep it? I think it's that winning mentality. Do they know how to win?
It's been a big part of it this year. Now, Koulibaly, who's been a huge part of their offense, hasn't scored tonight, but she'll go to the line. Fouled by Barnum.
Here's an on-the-ball screen. Amber comes off of it nice and tight. Barnum set a great pick, got her shoulders right in the middle of the defense, and so they could not defend that.
That's the first point of the night for Koulibaly, who's 4th in this conference in scoring at almost 19 a game.
She's been a little quiet. Arkansas, I think, Goforth's length early on in the game really provided some struggle for her. She's not used to probably seeing that length.
Inside a minute here in our first quarter. Arkansas again, no Daniels, no Spencer, no Wolfenbarger tonight. Barnum just had that go through her hands, but able to get it back. Sage got a good look at open three. The ball's slippery. Bouncing around. Finally, the Tigers come out of the pile with it.
Arkansas doing a good job of coming back and spotting up and finding their man. And here, They've got one shot, even though there's about a 3-second difference in the shot clock and the game clock.
They're going to try and extinguish as much of that clock as they can.
Absolutely. They're going to be ready for the on-the-ball screen, and Coulibaly to step back and shoot the three.
Extra pass into the corner. With one in the shot clock, no, they did not get it off. It was close. One too many passes there for the Tigers.
It was. A couple people passed up in a shot. You like that, but that deep in the shot clock, you got to shoot it.
Ramirez from beyond half court. Throws over the backboard. 1 quarter in the books tonight from Bud Walton Arena. Auburn Tigers up by 4. Ready for our second quarter tonight from Bud Walton. Scott Grayson played 1 year at Baylor before transferring to Auburn. This is her 3rd year on the Plains. Goforth again on the drive, able to scoop it off the glass and score.
She did a great job of shooting to score. Sometimes she just flips it up there. She was on a mission. She shot to score, anticipating the hit, but she didn't get it.
Coulibaly has been defended well by Sasha Goforth tonight.
Yes, she has. Her length is really advantageous for Sasha Goforth. It's causing Coulibaly a lot of problems. I'm not sure she settled in on how to really counteract that yet.
Shot clock down to 3. Scott Grayson, tough 3 from the corner, but the rebound by Graves, and she can't put it back up and in. Finally, Arkansas tries to save with Langerman.
And that's what Langerman does best. She is always around the ball. She's always around the ball. And you have to have a player like that. She does a great job.
That was a frustrating sequence there for Auburn. Langerman almost got another one.
She did. She watches the flight of the ball very well when the shot goes up.
Coulibaly just lost that one out of bounds again. She saw Goforth in front of her, and she's not quite been right tonight.
No, I think she's forcing it a little bit instead of taking what the game brings to her. She knows she can score. She knows she has scored, and she feels a little pressured.
She does have 74 turnovers this year coming into the game. That's a big number.
It is, and that goes to show you, I mean, she's playing out of position some. And so, but makes up for it on her scoring ability. So. And
Barnum really frustrated not being able to score at the rim. That's happened 2 or 3 times tonight. There's the speed and the finish from Scott Grayson.
She elevated high on that shot and exploded. Very powerful. Barnum just has to get an easy bucket. It's going to fall. She's got to keep shooting.
And she's had some point-blank looks. Goforth just did keep that pivot foot down, but she was stuffed by Precious Johnson, the 6'5" sophomore.
And making a very big presence inside on the defensive end. This type of pace is to Arkansas's advantage. I'm not sure it is to Auburn's. So Arkansas needs to take advantage of what and how they're playing right now.
I would agree. Auburn has led for the entirety of this game. Ramirez drew a little bit of contact, and she'll go to the line.
I think that something she's added to her game is putting the ball on the floor because everybody scouts her for the three-pointer, and she's done that more and more in conference play. Particularly, I noticed it against LSU. She put the ball on the floor a lot more, and she's done a great job of adding another arsenal to her game.
It's just trying to get to the free throw line when she's maybe not able to get a number of threes off, and it's worked. Against Tennessee, she had 29 points, 25 in the big win against LSU here at Bud Walton.
Yeah, she's playing really well, and I think the fact that people are scouting her just for a three-pointer, she's like, I got you. I'm going to put the ball on the floor and get a couple easy buckets, and she's doing a great job with that. It's unusual for her.
Arkansas can't afford some struggles tonight from the line. This is where they need to get a few of those points back. 6 for Ramirez.
Now, Honesty's playing the point a little bit more, so it'll be interesting to see how she creates.
Auburn has really gone deep in the shot clock the last few possessions.
They really have, and Coulibaly is more on the perimeter than in the paint.
How about that knockdown from Jayla Jordan?
Yeah.
This is the worst three-point shooting team in the conference, 292nd in the country.
Yes, but today's a new night.
That is true.
And they're shooting 2 of 8, but they've hit some big crucial ones. That could have been a big possession for Arkansas if they had gotten a stop there. But it gives Auburn the momentum because they hit one.
Officials originally gave that ball to Auburn. There was quite an outcry, and they got together and said it's Razorback basketball, to the dismay of Coach Harris. Again, Ellis able to roll to the basket. Nice little spin move, but can't coax in that hook shot.
No, that on-the-ball screen, Arkansas is exploiting it. They just not been very efficient at times with it, but they see the open person, which is good.
Scott Grayson able to hang, but unable to hit.
And Ellis came up with that defensive rebound. Auburn is hedging way high on those screens. I think this is where they miss Daniels, because they're standing and watching a good bit instead of cutting to the basket.
I would agree as Ellis scores. Not only does Daniels run the show, she's one of their primary scorers, so they miss her in multiple aspects.
Absolutely, and Samara as well, because they both can create their own shot. They can go get their shot in any way.
Arkansas has played this game in that 3 to 5 point range down, and Coulibaly can't hit the 3.
Yep. Riley almost had the rebound. She had her hands on it, but I think just Sasha Goforth's length on Coulibaly is really presenting a struggle for her tonight. She's got to get an easy bucket, whether it's cutting to the basket or penetrating to the basket. She's got to get something easy to get going tonight.
With 1 on the shot clock, Annie Hughes hits.
Annie Hughes, that is her specialty. She shoots the 3.
So the lead back to 7. Auburn's biggest has been 8.
And
Hawks could use a hit.
They can. They've got to be patient. They've got to get that ball reversed from side to side, because Auburn will get tired. Arkansas has so many arsenals to score. They just have to be patient.
You want to see Ramirez contest that 3 rather than go airborne?
I would. You don't want her to get a foul because she's about on the court, but you would like for her to test it a little bit. There's definitely a size disadvantage, because Honesty, and now you got Hughes on Barnum. They have to recognize that, and she has to post up.
No whistle on Ramirez, and then she knocks down the jump shot. You know, when that happens in front of the Auburn bench, there's a lot of help for the officials.
You wonder what was said over there. But she hit a big bucket. They really needed it. Cut it to a 5-point. Arbiton's really getting the shot clock down.
Getting the shot clock down to single digits. Coulibaly can't hit. Ramirez the rebound. Hogs haven't been able to run much tonight. Floor rebound by Coulibaly. The Tigers really don't like to run, but hard to pass this one up and go forth. Just stopped Hughes. Sasha wanted to jump. We'll step aside, and Arkansas still playing from behind. One player they're looking to get some scoring from is Amber Ramirez.
On the other end, so she made a great play defensively.
Arkansas's bench, I believe, has been given 1 warning already. A long conversation. They were looking at possession. It seemed like a pretty easy call.
Yeah.
Coulibaly again with 1 point tonight. So Auburn has led from the opening tip, but it's been because of Scott Grayson, who can't hit. Hawks are trying to make a run in these final 4 minutes. Barnum all night long has been trying to coax one in, and that would not drop either.
Well, that is exactly what they need to do for her, to get her an easy layup. It's going to fall. She's got to remember the big picture. It's 4 quarters. She runs the court hard. She extends that defense, and Parrish just fouls her because she can't keep up with her. It's going to fall for her. She's got to keep shooting her shot.
It's a great pass.
It's a phenomenal.
Go for it.
Yeah. Those are situations where Arkansas can shoot quick because they had the numbers there.
Barnum is an improved free throw shooter, 72% this season. Last time she was in double figures, though. You have to go back to the end of November.
Yeah, you can tell she's a little rusty, but she's getting there. I mean, that's just part of the game when you're out for the speed of the game, the cardiovascular, all that. It'll come with each and every game she gets.
Ideally, in a couple of weeks, she'd be a little bit stronger. There's another knockdown from Jordan. And again, this is not a good three-point shooting team, and that's being kind. But they've reined in 3 triples. Make it 4.
Yeah, and I think that's the example right there. Barnum just sagging off of her a little too much, maybe not having the wherewithal to get out there and get her. But Emory Ellis took it right to the basket for him.
There will certainly be some Razorbacks playing extended minutes tonight that haven't played this many minutes in any conference game yet.
Without a doubt. And so that for Coach Neighbors presents a problem, or not a problem, strategy on how to keep his players fresh. And go forth. She's out there. She's making a name in the paint.
She has been an enforcer today at the rim.
She really has. You can tell she is motivated to defend the paint.
I don't believe she was 100% healthy either at Texas A&M. There's the drive, goes with the left hand, and gets it to bounce in off the window.
She needs to take this momentum and keep going forward with it. She is very focused at the moment on both ends.
I would say there's a determined look on her countenance right now.
Very much so.
Somehow Auburn able to get that ball back.
Yeah, I'm not sure how she got it back, but she did it.
Saw Jordan hit the 3, and not sure what that was, but Auburn again down to just a couple of seconds on the shot clock.
Well, that was great help by Ramirez on the rotation. And go forward with another block. But I think they called her with a foul.
It's on Langerman. But that was a heave with 1 second on the shot clock, but Arkansas didn't have rebounders in the area. And Neighbors just got a technical foul.
Yeah, this is where Arkansas, we've mentioned it in the first quarter, they have to rebound. When you're missing part of your offensive players, missing your leader, you have to do the little things, and rebound is one of them.
And Blair, I'll put another layer on that conversation as we go back and look at this foul. It's called on Langerman. That's not a foul, unless it was that arm that came behind on the swing. Sasha thought the whistle was on her.
I think there might have been a little bit of anticipation, and maybe the referee's at a bad angle, because looks like Riley's right arm might have been in there if you're at a bad angle, but I don't necessarily think it was.
To add on to your rebounding conversation, if Auburn's going to take it down to 2 seconds on the shot clock and they get the rebound, they're going to really start to limit Arkansas's potential possessions.
They really are. I mean, they're out rebounding Arkansas 23-15, and those are when they miss those shots with 1 second on the clock and they get the rebound. It's almost like it just breaks your spirit almost. You're like, there's just a sigh of frustration. They've got to rebound on the weak side. They came into this game knowing their shooting percentage. They can't overlook the fact they can still score. They're Division I athletes. They're Division I basketball players. They still have the capability to score. Don't overlook it and take it for granted. Make every shot contested.
So Grayson shot the 2 free throws, and now Amora Graves will shoot. So obviously that whistle was on the shot, and then the technical free throws as well will be shot here from Graves, and the possession for the Tigers. I think the frustration for the Hogs is they have been trying to get a little bit closer than 4 or 5 points. And yet it's right back up to 6.
Sure, but 4 or 5 points, missing 2 key players, 3 key players really. I mean, they're where they need to be. They can't let the frustration overcome the big picture. They have to stay focused and do the little things. It will take care of itself. It can't become an emotional game. And that's where she's hit those shots.
Indeed. Finally a miss from Jordan. Nearing the 2-minute mark here in our second quarter. Ramirez just slides to her left to create an open look.
It's a good look for her. This is what she does all the time. She can't leave the open man when she's running down the court.
It'll be Razorback basketball. This deep in the game, I probably didn't have Auburn making 3 more three-pointers than the Razorbacks.
Nor did I. But, again, I think that's Arkansas's mentality. They knew their shooting percentage coming in. Oh, you can't take them for granted. They can still hit open shots. You have to contest everything so that percentage stays where it is.
To me, to be a contrarian, I would think they're due to throw in a couple, maybe bank one in. All of a sudden, then things snowball.
That's why you play the ball game.
Go forth on the drive and show the chance for a three-point play.
She has got to continue to have a scoring mentality. She's got to release some of that pressure off of Ramirez and continue to go to the basket, all the way to the hoop, and shooting and scoring with the bucket.
When she gets downhill, it's almost like a NFL running back that just sees the hole and she's headed for the end zone.
She is, and that time she made it and ended up out of bounds, but she's got to be able to shoot it and take the hit and get an and one there. But she was very focused and had the advantage, and she knew the player was on her hip, and she was able to score it.
Sasha unable to complete the
rebound.
three-point play, but she just about got the ball back.
And a foul. Oh.
Yeah, that was a frustration foul.
It was.
For Sasha.
It completely was. But that's one where, as a sophomore, she's got to, knowing the situation they're in tonight, that she might not be able to be aggressive in those opportunities.
Just the first for Go Forth as she takes a seat.
Auburn's doing a good job setting up their offense and taking what Arkansas has given them. There doesn't seem to be a lot of ball pressure.
Koulibaly still has yet to record a field goal made.
And Arkansas's got to feel good about their defensive strategy on her.
Taking her out of this first half at least. Taken away by Koulibaly. And that one she will get to drop, but a chance for three.
And you like her scoring mentality. She hasn't backed away from shooting. She hasn't backed away from going to the basket. She's very aggressive on the ball defense, which Coach Harris talked about today. All of their players, she gets the steal and attacks the rim.
Mentioned she has huge turnover numbers, but also nearly 50 steals, so she gets some of those back.
Yeah, you're like the pros and cons of that. She does a good job of scoring, so you're going to overlook those turnovers. She's not afraid with the ball in her hands, and you can tell that she has a scorer's mentality. She's attacking the rim, or she'll step back and shoot it. She's very locked in and knows what she does well.
And able to complete the three-point play. Destiny Oberg in. She's been under the weather, not COVID related, but another Razorback not at full strength.
The on-the-ball screens have worked well for Arkansas, but they just can't stand and watch when Ramirez comes off of it.
Bostic got the takeaway. Koulibaly running the floor. Did she walk? Yes, she did.
Great hustle by Ashland to get back and contest it. She hustled. She didn't get a steal, but she forced her into a turnover. And Auburn's very prone of return.
Shot clock shut off.
Arkansas is going to play for the one shot. I'm surprised Auburn's not pressing the ball a little bit more because they know what's going on.
Oberg up there trying to set the screen. Koulibaly went over the screen. Ramirez won't get it to the rim, and we have completed the first half. And Blair, this was an entire first half controlled by Auburn.
Absolutely. They came in the game with focus.
4 minutes or so for the Razorbacks in this third quarter.
I think it is very important because mentally it will set the tone for them. Can they persevere and get over and get a stop and get an easy bucket?
Auburn will start with the basketball. As Blair mentioned, they have been really working on finishing. They've been playing hard. Got a kick out of Coach Harris, though, this week when she said they're playing as hard as they think they can.
Yes, and so you know there was room for improvement. with that comment being made.
It should be a tie if it is. It'll quickly be Razorback basketball. So to me, that means, in the first year of a program, they're playing hard. They think they're playing hard, but there's still more there somewhere. I think when they find that more is when they're also going to find that ability to finish.
Exactly. And you see it in the first 2 quarters or not. They've had that more. They finished a shot. Arkansas would make a run, cut it to 4, and they withheld it and kept the lead.
See if Goforth is able to provide some points. Still feels like Blair, Arkansas needs one more score in this second half.
They do. It'll be interesting to see who steps up and do it.
Goforth went with the left hand, but too hard off the window.
Barnum right there just needs to turn around and shoot over him.
Jordan hit a couple of threes in the first half, and she'll bury another one. She's almost doubled her season average with the 11.
Yes, and Barnum, she's hit one on her in the first half on the left corner, and she hit one again on the left side there. She has proved it that she can hit it, so she's got to get out there and contest it.
Hawks staring their biggest deficit in the face, and Goforth is going to go back to the free throw line.
This is where Michaela Daniels is missed. She's vocal. She rallies the troops. She encourages them. She claps. She gets them at the free throw line saying it's okay and constantly talking in the huddle. This is where Ramirez, being a fifth-year player, can do that for her teammates, because you can see the look on their face.
Coach Neighbors has said that actually get tired of Daniels over on the bench because she's pointing things out as she sees them, a running commentary. She knows she's seeing the game, but of course just powerless to do anything about it.
She is, but having her talking over there, they know she's engaged and she's still caring and she's still part of the team. That is crucial for her teammates.
There's a whistle before the shot. Foul on Langerman.
And Honesty's coming back with that same scoring mentality in this third quarter. She did not cool off during halftime. She's taking it to the basket. So it'll be interesting to see how Langerman handles that.
Scott Grayson able to coax that one in, got the friendly roll. She is a McDonald's All-American, so you know that ability is certainly there. Started at Baylor. Langerman was stuffed.
And she's a type of player, hey, if Koulibaly's got to be the player tonight that scores the most points, there's no jealousy or animosity, as Coach Harris was talking about. She does what the team needs, and tonight they need her to score, and she is.
Step back three for Ramirez, and the Hawks needed that.
They needed that desperately. That's exactly what you want out of her.
Ramirez has made both of the Razorbacks' three-point field goals tonight to chip this down to a 7-point game. That's where we were at the half. Koulibaly with the spin. Really kind of throwing the ball in the direction of the rim.
She is. It's Goforth's length. She is struggling with Goforth's length. She's contesting that shot. That's what you have to do on a team that doesn't have the best shooting percentage. You've got to contest so they miss, and they get back in that mindset, oh, yeah, this is what we do.
Ramirez trying to find that hot hand, not that time.
Now, they should need to come down here and get settled on defense and don't get them any easy, uncontested shots. She got lucky there. Barnum was sagged off a little bit too much.
That was a wide open look.
She got a quick release. Ramirez has got to see that pass has got to come from Langerman. She had the angle.
It's a run out and an easy basket for Sanaya Well.
And this is something Auburn hasn't done. They would get a steal or a turnover and they haven't been able to convert it. They converted it right there, and that's the difference.
It's a whistle and a foul on Wells. Keep in mind this Arkansas team with Daniels and Spencer, one of the best at not turning the ball over.
They are. They got the steal, and then they convert it to an easy layup.
You know, Coach Neighbors pointed out the obvious this week, but I think it was worth repeating. Our low turnover numbers, he said, is what offsets our difficulty rebounding.
It's a very good point. That is true. They do a great job taking care of the basketball. Is that because they're so senior, have a lot of experience?
That they'd like to shoot, too.
Yeah, that's true.
And Ramirez buries the triple.
That's right.
It reminds me of Coach Neighbors' first year when he didn't have the same talent he does now. He said, listen, you players, if you feel like you're about to turn the ball over, shoot it.
I like that philosophy. I should have played for him. You got to like that as a player.
Well, this crowd becomes a factor for really the first time tonight.
Yes, they do. Ramirez's 2 threes. And then she does a great job helping there on Jayla.
Arkansas needs more of this. A step back three from Amber Ramirez.
They do. She had a great move. She got Hughes on her heels, and that's all the room she needed to release that three.
Counting tonight with her made three-pointers, Blair. She's made 37 three-pointers in her last now 10 games.
That's unbelievable. What a player. I mean, she does it at ease. It doesn't look hard. It's just second nature for her, which is remarkable.
No, Auburn really doesn't want to see her begin to heat it up.
No, they don't. It'll be interesting to see if they stay with the same defender on her.
Jordan with a couple of knockdowns from the line. She had 5 against Mississippi State, 13 this evening.
So Michonne Bosick comes back on her.
Ilana Eaton can't keep that one down.
And when they shoot it, they have to go to the rim. I mean, there was 4 weak side players, and they just all stood and watched. They can't watch.
Scott Grayson on the drive. Ellis tried to go straight up in the air, but Grayson able to score again.
Yeah. She got Ramirez rocking back and forth and just crossed her over. See, there they are. They're finally moving, but it took them a second to get moving.
Ellis, that was a bit of a wild drive, but she got it to drop.
She did, but she's shooting to score. I mean, she's not flicking it or just hoping it goes in. She's shooting to score, and that bounce, and it rode right in for him.
Oh, it's still below 40% shooting for the game. Auburn not that much better. But again, the Tigers have led from the opening tap. Blown defensive assignment, and Graves able to roll and score.
I think they just gave Arkansas a little bit of their own medicine right there. They cut to the basket, and Auburn's like, okay, we can do that too.
I think the one thing the Tigers have done when the Hogs get to 4 points or 5 points or 6, they've been able to extend the lead. But don't look now. Amber Ramirez starting to heat it up.
Well, that was a great play. They said made a pass, set 2 staggered screens for Ramirez, and she seized the moment and hit the shot. Great screens by her teammates.
This crowd again trying to will this Razorback defense into a stop. And the Tigers have been so patient extending the shot clock.
It's almost like Arkansas is falling asleep. They can't get sucked into it. They're going to explode and go score.
Scott Grayson off the screen. Ellis on the switch. Leaves Jordan open. She'll pull the trigger. Won't hit this time. Now let's see if Arkansas can capitalize. Goforth has that look like she's not about to give it up.
Yeah, she does. Emery was posting up there very well on the block.
Eaton trying to create, and she stumbled and walked.
Well,
on the floor. Amber Ramirez has started to heat it up in the second half. She's not.
Arkansas, they're making it. They're hitting wide open shots.
Coach Harris took this job in April, and she said she couldn't even work out with more than a couple of players. There were so many injuries and issues, and her point was you win games in January and February back in the fall, and she wasn't able to work with them much in the fall.
No, you're correct. She did mention that, but you have to give these players credit because they're buying into her system. They're seeing it coming together. It just hasn't all connected at one time, and I think it is tonight.
Well, Coulibaly has been quiet, but that's her first field goal here in the second half. Arkansas has done a pretty good job on her, and I know the Razorbacks don't want to see her begin to take off.
No, they don't, because she can score at will, and they've done a great job on keeping her quiet, so they've got to really focus in and lock in on her the next trip down on the court.
Ramirez has been running the point a little bit out of whack. Again, no Daniels and no Spencer. And Coach Neighbors, I think, had a great point this week as Ramirez will drive and score. If this happens in November and you have to figure things out, it's one thing. This deep in the year, not to have 2 point guards is really tough for the flow.
It is tough for the flow, and you've got to give Ramirez credit because she's doing what she is doing. She's doing a great job of getting them in their sets, keeping them moving. But it's tough. You don't want it to happen this time of year, but we all know in coaching there's variables you can't control, and this is one of them.
Coulibaly trying to get loose to the basket.
Looks like she might take a few extra steps there.
Emery Ellis with the spin, and she'll go to the line.
They did a great job pushing that ball, and Ellis, who's one of their bigger players, one of their post players, running the court, which really extends Auburn and really makes them run the court.
I think your point about Ellis is well taken. When she's been in the game, she's got just one of the 5 on the floor. She's trying to score.
She is, and they haven't hit her. When you see numbers, you should throw it to her, and she's really posting up, which is occupying her defensive man. And really, the weak side, because the weak side is anticipating, are they going to throw it to her or not? And there she steps up and hits a big free throw for her team.
And she just reached double figures.
Yes, she did. She's doing a good job on the defensive end as well. It hasn't really showed up in the stats as far as blocks or rebounds. But she's very physical down there on Precious or Jayla Jordan. She's really making a presence inside.
Career high for Emory Ellis. Hogs back within 5 again. Shot clock's at 5. Ellis just took that one away with the help from Ramirez.
She did a good job anticipating and moving over. Ramirez did a great job pressuring the ball right there.
This might be the most important or the biggest offensive possession of the game for the Hawks.
Absolutely. See what they can capitalize on that.
Ramirez trying to create.
Yeah, they can't stand and watch her. They got to move.
Oh, right in the hands of Scott Grayson. And it leads to a run out and a basket for the Tigers.
And that's what happens when you stand and watch. Ramirez is doing, they set her up. But they've got to cut on that weak side. They got to keep moving.
Timeout Arkansas.
She's got to let it go.
Arkansas's been trying to chip into that deficit. It remains a 7-point game, the same number we had at the...
It's time for the ultimate sleep number event on the...
There, right now it just gets towards the end of that
Well, I can understand that. You're a little on edge. The game's a little tighter than what they anticipated, and so down a few players, so I can understand the nerves there.
I'm a baseball parent, Blair, so I get banished to the outfield, to the parking lot. There's no such option here in basketball.
So you're one of those parents?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm getting better in my old age.
Okay, well, at least you're getting better. That's good.
Working on that.
Yeah.
Goforth has been a little bit quiet offensively here in the quarter.
Yeah, she's got to go to the basket.
Indeed she is. There's the hook. She didn't get the roll, and a rebound down to Scott Grayson and the Tigers.
She's got to flip that wrist when she's down deep like that. She just kind of laid it up there like it's on a platter. She's got to flip and snap her wrist.
And the Tigers so good at milking the shot clock in a lot of these possessions.
They really have, and I don't recall them doing this in their other games, but they are really, possession of the ball has really been important and emphasis in this game to them.
Ramirez got that rebound, then had it knocked away by Koulibaly.
I don't necessarily think there was a foul. It was just a great aggressive play. They got to get people moving.
Ellis trying to get to the basket, and she was fouled hard and go right back to that free throw line. That's a high screen as far as being far away from the basket, but she was going to try and get to the rim.
And Auburn's been doing that consistently all night on the ball screens. They've been hedging hard with their post players, and they've been staying 1 second too long, allowing Arkansas to make that pass and dot.
Emory Ellis adds to her career high with the 11.
Nice rebound.
The put back and the basket.
Great rebound. That's exactly what you need out of her. She comes up with those plays every single game.
Where it's the anticipation of where that miss is coming from.
She watches the fly of the ball better than any player I've seen.
Down to a 4-point game. This is as close as the Hawks have been in quite some time.
They've got to anticipate Aisha getting ready to shoot the three or Honesty going all the way to the basket.
Scott Grayson into the paint. Double clutch. She'll hit the big jump shot.
Big.
Ramirez trying to get one away from three-quarter court. Strong off the window. Wild and woolly third quarter. We'll come back for the fourth. 6-point lead for the Tigers on the road. A game and you don't have your quarterback, they factor that into the discussion.
Correct.
The net doesn't care, and that's
no,
the problem.
That is the problem. They do not care, and so it'll be interesting to see when the players return to see how it impacts them.
Auburn the basketball in a 6-point lead as we begin the fourth. And again, Auburn They had lost 23 straight conference games before they got that win at home against Tennessee.
So Riley is starting out on Aisha. We'll see how the height advantage plays there.
Go for it. Snares that long rebound.
They came up with a defensive stop, so let's see if they'll capitalize on offense.
Go for it. Passes out to Ramirez. Open look. You can almost put that one in the book. She couldn't get it down.
Great hustle.
Another offensive rebound for Langerman.
And that series, everybody was moving. Everybody was cutting to the basket. Everybody was moving. Nobody was standing and watching.
I think that shot may have been deflected.
Yep.
Ramirez was frustrated with a couple of misses.
You got to let it go. She's just got to play. It's going to happen. You're going to miss some. She's got to get a defensive stop on this end. Arkansas can't let this mentality of slowing the game down impact them.
I feel like it impacts me. I get lulled into a stretch where I know there's nothing's going to happen for 20 seconds. Fleury on the shot clock here.
Emory Ellis had a great defensive stop. I'm not sure what they called there. I guess her foot was on the line.
I think so.
She showed very good anticipation skills right there. Aisha is looking for the ball. Riley's trying to be physical with her.
I wonder if you lob it into the paint here and let her go up and catch it.
I think Precious Johnson's going to set a screen for her. But they can't do what they did and forget about the inbounder.
Tonight, put 4 on the shot clock.
Oh.
Got another weapon. Well, she was able to catch, lean back, and score. For Koulibaly.
That's a good basketball play right there.
Hawks got this deficit down to 4. Ellis couldn't hold on, surrounded by 3 Tigers. That's a held ball. It'll stay Hog basketball. 16 to shoot.
They've got quick hands. They get their hands on the ball quicker than a lot of people I've seen in a long time. And they're in weak side defense right there. Honesty was right where she needed to be and put her hand on the ball and just enough deflection to cause Emory Ellis to stumble around.
Is this a team that likes to force some turnovers and be disruptive?
They do. And, you know, Coach Harris was talking about how they play hard all year and they're almost there. And you can see it tonight.
Foul on Sanaya Wells. That's her 4th.
That's a big foul. That's huge for them because then who goes to the point? Who they shift? I try to get another one or before it's over.
Ramirez.
That's what Ramirez needed.
Space for the corner 3. You see those 22 points in SEC games. She's averaged more than 20 points a contest.
She has, and you see it. You see her, that sigh of relief, like, come on, we got this. She's got some energy underneath her, so this is exactly what she needed. Arkansas
wanted a foul with Ramirez ending up in the bench. Nonetheless, get her rolling again in this 4th quarter.
I think you need to get Go For It going. You've got to have more than Ramirez because Auburn's so athletic and their defensive philosophy, the pressuring, is going to wear on her. Somebody's got to be able to step up and score.
And if they continue to try and take away her threes, it might leave a little bit of room to get to the basket.
Absolutely, and Sasha Go For It is the perfect player to get to the basket.
Koulibaly still, she's been trying to find it all night, forced that one up there.
Nice
Ball's
ball.
loose on the deck. Another tie, but this time the arrow against this Razorback basketball.
I think Ellis got a piece of that when Aisha was going to score. I think she had a piece of it. She did a great job when she was in there.
She certainly did.
She played very well.
Aaron Barnum back in.
I think she did well. She moved without the ball on offense, and then she anticipated like that on defensive end.
I think Ramirez has played every single minute tonight. Big 3 from the corner by Eaton, her first hit of the game.
You know, Sasha created that. They all did by moving, and then she went towards the basket, sucked Eaton's man in, and she was wide open in the corner for a 3.
This is as close as the Hogs have been, I think, since the first few minutes of the game.
It is, and this is where Coach Harris is talking about our team. They've got to finish. They can't get rattled.
We talked about getting an extra score involved. I think the Hogs will certainly take someone like Alana Eaton heating it up.
Yes, with that penetration to the basket, Goforth threw 3 players. Eaton was sitting wide open for the 3.
Ramirez, a nice find. Barnum tried to coax one in. My goodness, she's had a few of those from point-blank range.
It was a great patience, great shot. She has just got to finish them around there.
Is it a mental issue right now?
I think she's anticipating the hit because they're so physical prior to that. Yeah. And she's not getting it on the shot. She's getting it before. Arkansas got to stop. Here's an opportunity for them to seize, to tie the game or take the lead.
Shooting for the first lead of the game. Barnum got her hands on it.
It's the same play they ran earlier in the second quarter where they set that down screen for Ramirez. She does a good job using the screen. A lot of players this day and age, they just go right by it, but Ramirez uses her screens very well.
Foul on Precious Johnson. For the first time tonight, this game is tied as Goforth gets the easy basket.
That's a great pass and a great cut to the basket. She moved with a purpose to the rim. Here's where Coach Harris wants her team to grow and mature. It's tied. We've had the lead. Can we hold on to it?
You want Koulibaly to touch the ball in this possession?
Absolutely, I do. Or honesty. Either one of them wants to shoot it.
Precious Johnson had that hang on the iron. It's out of bounds. It'll stay Tiger ball.
Koulibaly was wide open for a 3. They just didn't see it.
Coach Harris was making eye contact during that possession with Koulibaly, almost communicating with her across the court.
She was wide open.
Now she's communicating
with the referee. Ever so politely.
Shot clock moved to 20.
Honestly, just to go to the basket.
Goforth trying to deny, and a whistle on Sasha.
You got to give credit for going to the basket, but also to Coach Harris because she was working those officials because they thought she got hit the previous play. And normally, you get the call the next time you do that.
It's a foul.
Yeah, she had her hands down. And there, Goforth's so tall and long, she just needs to stay straight up with her. She's got the height advantage. Doesn't need to bail them out.
See the night for Scott Grayson. Again, their one win this year against Tennessee. She had just 2 points. She played a big role in the game. Tonight has been her scoring for Coach Harris. The former McDonald's All-American, former Baylor Bear, trying to put her team back in front.
And she shoots 72%.
Good looking stroke there.
There was.
Tigers back up 1.
Let's see how they respond. Do they run the same set or do they do their motion, their dribble weave?
Ramirez thought she might take that shot on the drive. Tried to generate some contact. Couldn't keep it down. She lost her shoe.
She can't stop the game. You don't have the ball. She's got to throw it.
She's going to have to play defense with her shoe in her hand.
Yeah.
Hoping for maybe a spell where she could put it back on, and the Tigers don't take it to her.
They don't take advantage of it. She's got it on.
Goforth again, able to block the shot.
Yeah.
And they're going to call a tie-up, and the arrow's in favor of Auburn. Goforth earlier wanted to jump on a block and didn't get it. This time she wanted the block and not the tie-up.
She did a good job, Goforth, keeping space between her body and honesty. She kept good spacing and was able to use her height right there.
See, that's not a jump. The other one I thought was a jump. That one's a block. Koulibaly backing away from Barnum. The ball's out of bounds again. It'll stay Auburn basketball, and this is where their physicality has really helped them maintain the possession.
And the thing for Arkansas is they saw that in Texas A&M. They saw it in Tennessee. So the carryover from those 2 games works to their advantage right here against Auburn.
Some confusion whose basketball it is. One of our officials over at the scorer's table Johnny Harris just got a technical foul. Now both coaches have been teed up. And what a time for a technical with 5:14 to play in a one-point game.
It's interesting. Maybe she'll send a message to her team, hey, we're still in this game. Don't give up. Don't quit. I've got your back. I'm working every angle. So it's a good message to her team.
Problem is it's 2 free throws
For Ramirez.
which could be 2 free points for Amber Ramirez. And the 87% free throw shooter makes them both, and she's pumped in 24 points tonight. And the Razorbacks enjoying again
It'll be interesting
second lead of the game.
Yeah, to see how Auburn responds to Coach Harris' technical and to see how Arkansas responds. Who's going to be the mature team here? There's definitely a mismatch here. Let's see if Arkansas takes advantage of it.
Go for it. She's not about to give this ball up. There's the
There you
scoop
go.
and the basket.
That's exactly what she's got to do. She's got to keep doing it. They haven't stopped her all night doing that. Why stop? She should not.
She's almost scored as many points tonight as she's had in the last 3 games combined, and the Hawks enjoying a 3-point lead.
That's exactly what you want to see from her tonight.
And this is where slowing things down when you're behind has a different effect than when you're leading by 6 or 7.
Exactly. Now
Barnum clears. Well, she tried to clear, but it was taken away by Coulibaly, and she scores.
And that's exactly what Coach Harris says. You got to stay with it. You got to stay in the moment. Don't give up on the play. And Aisha Coulibaly did not.
Timeout, Arkansas. 30-second timeout. Let's go back and take a look at this drive from Sasha Goforth. And again, the team by 5. They lost to Alabama a second time by 7. With Kentucky, they ended up losing by 8, but they were tied with 4 minutes left. Against Mississippi State, they were tied with 4 minutes left.
So they've been in this situation before. The question is, where are they going to learn from those other games and take a step of growth as a team?
Every possession becomes valuable. Langerman, the birthday girl, can't hit the 3. Goforth got her hands on it. It'll stay. Razorback basketball, last touched, I believe, by the 6'5", Precious Johnson.
And that's what we haven't seen from Arkansas. 2 and 3 players
Hitting the
attacking the
boards,
offense and glass. And there, when you do it, it goes off the arm and you help yourself.
Shot clock at 20. The ball back in the hands of Ramirez. Defended by Bostic. There's the switch. Ramirez likes this switch. She was hammered by Annie Hughes, and she'll go back to the line. She will shoot 2. She was inside the arc.
She was. And then when they go to that play and they set the on-the-ball screen and they switch that, Arkansas's players look how open Emery is down there on the block, but the other 2 guards just stand and watch. They got to continue to cut for her.
I would agree. I felt like Ramirez was happy when she got the switch with
Yes.
Hughes out on her. She felt like it was her time to shoot.
But they've got to keep cutting because that's where they're losing their person and they're able to get easy buckets.
Ramirez has been running the point tonight. Again, I think she's played every single minute. 25 points in the game. Arkansas is going to try and get a record-type crowd for her. 23 for 23, the 23rd best crowd all time. And going to try and get about 6,000 in this building for Kentucky. Well, she's been a huge factor in this game tonight.
Absolutely. She has stepped up, led this team when she's needed to, hit the buckets, and she's playing out of position. She's playing point. She's done a great job.
That's the amazing part, isn't it?
The question is here, what does honesty do with the ball?
Scott Grayson. She just got tied up. Ramirez got her hands in there. It feels like the arrow's been in Arkansas's favor all night. It'll be Razorback basketball.
And that's what you want. She got a great defensive stop. She tied her up. Great help defense right there. But the energy that she showed after that is what her teammates need. They need that.
There are times throughout the course of a season in practice, even before practice starts, coaches try and preach, the importance of every single possession. And sometimes early in the year that might be lost on players. When you get in this type of game, every possession is crucial.
It is, and you see the experience of Arkansas come into play in those possessions, whereas Auburn hasn't really seen it as much.
Koulibaly was fouled by Ellis.
That's a great example of what we're talking about right there. You know, great example. She went to the basket, didn't score it, but she's scoring with the clock, has opportunity to score with the clock stopped, 3 minutes, gives them a little bit of a breather. So I think that's growth right there.
I think if Ellis had to do that over again, she'd try and get in front of her and maybe take that charge.
Yeah. She thought she walked, but I don't know if she did.
Koulibaly was not going to pull up. She was going to try and get to the rim.
That's a score for you. She knew she had slight advantage, and she's taking advantage of it.
11 tonight for the SEC's fourth leading scorer. Trying to make this a one-point game again, and she gets a couple of hits from the stripe.
See if this pressure bothers Arkansas.
Ramirez with the drive on the scoop. Goforth got her hands on it, and that was a hard landing from Koulibaly.
Yes, it was.
A thud echoing around this arena.
They need to let her relax. She took a hard hit.
It's the third team foul on Arkansas. The good news for Auburn is that Koulibaly gets up slowly, albeit she does not look to be 100%. Watch this fall again.
Yeah, she took a hard hit right there. What a tough player.
Unprotected.
It was. I'd like to see Goforth going to the back. Oh, yeah, that was. I can't watch it the second time.
Tigers trying to regain the lead.
This is where Scott Grayson, she has got to go to the basket. She's got to create something for them like she's done all night. Great
Ellis with the block. Emory Ellis with some huge minutes tonight.
Yes. Everybody's moving, cutting. She's holding the ball too long. She needs to attack.
Felt like this was a chance for Goforth to drive, and she gets up grabbing her right leg. Auburn plays with numbers, and they're able to get the basket from Scott Grayson. She's down. Goforth gets up limping. Now Arkansas will come back and play 5-on-4.
Looks like they've got to take advantage of it.
It's a three-point shot. Ellis grabs the rebound, can't get it to go. And now a timeout called as Scott Grayson gets up near midcourt, grabbing her calf muscles. The Hogs played 5-on-4, but didn't score.
Yeah, I don't know, but you got to know time and clock and game situation. It's a minute, under 2 minutes, and that's not necessarily the shot you want. We have a 5-on-4 advantage.
Another huge possession in this game for the Tigers. Koulibaly working against the freshman Ellis.
Ellis has done a good job of keeping her feet active and being able to counter Koulibaly's penetration to the basket.
Koulibaly now ready to drive.
Great help by Goforth.
Goforth tried to take the charge. Hogs will take the turnover. Ramirez right around Hughes to the basket. Arkansas back in front by 1.
You got to give props to Amber going to score, but Ellis created all that on the defensive end for him. She's doing a great job of one of the best scorers in the SEC.
Inside 1 minute to play. Goforth tried to take the charge, called for a block, and she can't believe it.
Was she inside the circle? I couldn't see.
She said, I was set. I was set, she said.
Yeah, she was. She's making a case, but yeah, she was outside the circle.
She put those feet together so she didn't slide. The problem here is Wells is one of the best free throw shooters in the nation.
Yes.
92%.
That's who you want on the line if you're Auburn. But if you're Arkansas, you don't. She did a great job of sticking that one. They've got a box out.
Shooting for the lead. No doubt about either one for Wells. Timeout, Arkansas. 1 point lead for the Tigers.
That's for sure.
Arkansas will inbound from the front court.
Well, Arkansas has been in this situation a couple times this year.
Played in to go for it. Sasha on the drive, and she was bumped by Graves. Foul before the shot.
That's a great inbounds play.
Team foul number 5 on Auburn at the line, shooting 2 shots. Sasha, go for it.
Sasha 3 of 5 from the line tonight. She's also playing with 4 fouls. We're tied again. Try to follow her miss. Langerman runs down the rebound.
She got her second rebound off free throws.
Go forth on the drive.
She has got to continue to go to the rim off the dribble. She's been very efficient with that. And give Riley Langerman, man, what an offensive rebound off a free throw. That is so frustrating as a coach because you're standing right next to them. What a great hustle play. 7
rebounds for Langerman. Go forth, goes right back to the line.
She's got to shoot to score. She has to shoot to score. She's like she's hoping it in. She's talented. She's going to be smooth.
Big free throw.
Look at Ellis.
Got her hands on it. It'll stay Razorback basketball. Last touch.
Great effort. Yeah, great effort by all of them. Ellis. She's outworking them. Here comes Precious because Coach is tired of seeing that.
Bringing the 6'5", Precious Johnson back in. Langerman will trigger the inbound for the Razorbacks. 20 to shoot.
They've got time to set it up.
Amber Ramirez, the 6th-year senior. She's been playing point guard tonight. Her 28 points have been huge for the Razorbacks.
Tonight can't pressure because she has 4 fouls.
Shot just slipped out of her hands. Then Langerman ties it up. But remember the arrow in favor of the Tigers.
Langerman, but she's doing a good job being active. I think Ramirez had her mind made up when she came up. They've done a great job of playing together offensively and defensively, and they put themselves in position to go into overtime because at one point you weren't sure they would be able to come out of the 10-point deficit.
Does Auburn go for the first best shot, or do they hold it to the very end?
I think they go for the first best shot because their scoring capability.
Ball in the hands of Sanaya Wells. You know she would love to draw a foul and get to the line.
She would. You can't lose Honesty in the corner or Aisha right there.
Coulibaly had to go through her hands. Langerman picks it up. Tie up. The arrow in favor of Arkansas
don't call
with
a timeout.
3.5 to play.
Yeah, you've got the arrow.
I think Mike Neighbor is saying maybe there should be more time on the clock, or that tie-up should have been called out, diagramming what he hopes will be a winning play. See if Ramirez circles around a double screen. What a game tonight. Here comes Ramirez. Amber with the basketball. The 6th-year senior throws one up! What is it this week about Arkansas?
No, they've got time on the clock. They've got time on the clock.
0.3 of a second remain as the Hogs have taken a 2-point lead. It's been a 13-game road SEC losing streak for Auburn. Most of the night it looked like that might end here at Bud Walton. They have a chance to tie or possibly win 0.4 of a second. Wells will trigger the inbound. Here's the lob to the basket. The catch, and it was not in time. The Razorbacks hold on and take down Auburn 68-66.
What a great game from both teams. I hate to hear it for Auburn. They've done a great job of competing.